Mr. Chidambaram, in conclusion, the other day, Deepak Bagla, who heads Invest India in the Government of India, delivered a speech where he threw up figures about foreign direct investment coming into India over the last few years. And some of those figures clearly showed a quantum jump in foreign direct investment. So in conclusion, I'm only throwing that as one number, but in conclusion, would you, there was one thing that you would give this government credit for in the last 8 years, because surely over 8-9 years, governments do things that are to be seen as positive, what would the big plus point for you be in the Modi government's handling of the economy?
After the bitter experience of 2009 to 11, and when I came back to the finance ministry, the lesson I learned and tried to inculcate through government was, we must manage our debt. We must manage our borrowing, because that's the single most important factor which affects credit, which affects inflation, which affects our ability to spend. And I would give credit to this government for its single-minded focus on containing the deficit and the debt management.
It's taken me 35 minutes to get you to give the government some credit, but that's a good sign.
But you don't ask me for that number. You were throwing up numbers which are these India shining numbers. You were throwing numbers, and I've given you numbers, and I didn't hear Nilkant deny any of these numbers. Vacancies in IIT, vacancies in central universities, 21%, no access to toilets, total number of employment has fallen down by 1.2 crore. None of those numbers were refuted. These are all official numbers. And therefore, all I'm saying is, this is our government. Whether we voted or not, it's our government. We have to take credit for whatever the government is doing, and I have no hesitation in giving credit to where it is due. But all I'm pointing out is there is so much more to be done, so much more to be done, and a Prime Minister with so much energy and drive and control over his party and government can do so much more. Instead of that, we're talking about a non-interview and a documentary. Why are we wasting time on those things?
Well, you in Parliament, you're a member of Parliament, you should perhaps on Monday morning go to Parliament and say, let's have a debate on health and education and investments and teacher absenteism in central universities.
I'll say that at 11
Instead of
o'clock.
talking about what Mr. Modi said or what Mr. Rahul Gandhi said, maybe let's talk on hard numbers in Parliament.
I'm willing to say that at 11 o'clock, but before I complete my sentence, the House will be adjourned.
Okay. Given that unfortunate reality, perhaps the conclave is the only place where we can get a relatively non-noisy, certainly non-noisy, and at some level even a bipartisan debate on the state of our economy, which is why it's precious to have these spaces. Nilkant Mishra, P. Chidambaram, thank you so much for joining me here on the India Today Conclave. Thank you.